Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm back with another update coming out from the war between Russia and Ukraine, and there's lots of big news coming out today that I'd like to brief you on. So, we're going to start off talking about major attacks inside of Russia last night once again. It's pretty much every night now for about a week that we've been seeing consistent strikes inside of Russia using mostly drones coming from Ukraine. So, last night, Ukraine attacked an aviation plant in Smolensk, Russia. Okay, this is close to the Moscow region, just north of Ukraine. So there's an aviation plant that you can see here on your screen. This video footage shows this thing on fire. It did take direct hits, and we had a massive explosion over here. So this aviation plant is involved in the production and modernization of the SU-25 aircraft and KH-55 and KH-59 cruise missiles. You can see here on your screen the KH-55 is a long-range cruise missile with a reported range of 2,500 kilometers. Okay, so a major strike on an aviation plant last night. This is two over the last few days. Looks like Ukraine is switching it up. Now they're going after these aviation plants because we just reported one up in the Kazan region, or in the city of Kazan, excuse me, in the Republic of Tatarstan just the other day. We had a strike on a aviation plant over there, or at least an attack in that area targeting an aviation plant. Okay, so looks like Ukraine switching it up, going after different targets now. But we did have another oil depot hit last night. The Liski oil depot in the Voronezh region got hit again. I've got video footage. This is the second strike on an oil depot that we've had over the last couple weeks. We had the Engels oil depot as well. It was the Combinat Crystal oil depot that got double tapped. Now the Liski oil depot got double tapped as well. So I've got information about that today. Then we also have reports of a command post of the 29th Combined Arms Army in Volnovaka, if I'm pronouncing that right. So this is in the Donetsk region of Ukraine in Russian-controlled territory. There was a strike over there on a Russian command post. So I've actually got video footage about that information as well. Then there's so many other strikes that were taking place inside of Russia last night. Lots of regions coming under attack. We had Saratov region being attacked, Krasnodar, Rostov. Lots of different regions in Russia were being attacked by drones last night. So it looks like Ukraine is still keeping up the pressure and hammering Russia very hard with these drone attacks almost on a nightly basis. And it seems like, for the most part, Russia's air defense teams are not able to handle this load of the amount of Ukrainian drones that are incoming into their territory. So pretty insane news. Lots of videos to show you guys today. So much information to go over. So let's go ahead and get right into this. We're going to hop on over to the Kyiv Independent today. We're going to go over this information regarding the oil depot that was hit, the aviation plant, and the command post. Okay, it's going to give us all this information regarding these three strikes that I talked about. So it says here, Ukraine attacks Russian oil depot, aviation plant, command post overnight. Military says. This is coming out today, January 21st, 2025. Here's a photo of the aviation plant in Smolensk Oblast, okay? Inside of Russia. This is the same picture I had on the thumbnail for you guys, showing that major fire there on this facility as it took a direct strike. It says here, Ukrainian forces struck the Liskinskaya oil depot in Russia's Voronezh Oblast, the Smolensk aviation plant, and a Russian command post in Donetsk Oblast overnight on January 21st, Ukraine's general staff said. The announcement comes as Russia's defense ministry reported intercepting 55 Ukrainian drones in a large-scale overnight strike, including 10 over Smolensk Oblast and 6 over Voronezh Oblast. The Liskinskaya oil depot was targeted again after being hit by a Ukrainian drone attack on January 16th in the most recent strike. Ukrainian drones hit fuel and lubricant tanks, starting a fire at the Rosneft run facility, general staff reported. So I do have video footage showing direct strikes on this Liski oil depot once again, and it's been burning for about 5 or 6 days now, and it got hit again last night. So also it says here, an attack against the depot was confirmed by Voronezh Oblast Governor Alexander Gusev. The village of Liski, where the depot is located, lies around 140 kilometers or 90 miles north of Russia's border with Ukraine's Kharkiv Oblast. Another attack carried out jointly by unmanned system forces and the Special Operations Forces hit the infrastructure of the Smolensk aviation plant, with explosions reported on the facility's territory, according to the general staff. And it says here, Smolensk lies less than 60 kilometers, around 35 miles east of Russia, Russia-Belarus border and some 270 kilometers or 170 miles north of Ukraine. The city's aviation plant is involved in the production and modernization of the SU-25 military aircraft, said Andriy Kovalenko, counter-disinformation chief at Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council. Ukrainian military also reported a successful hit on a command post of Russia's 29th Combined Arms Army in the occupied Volnovavka in Donetsk Oblast. The consequences of the strike are being clarified, General Staff said, without specifying the weaponry used. So the video that I'm going to show you guys in a little bit regarding this strike on this command post in the Donetsk Oblast, I'm not really sure what was being used. It looks like it could have been drones or maybe rocket drones. I don't really know what was being used. It doesn't look like it was missiles, but could have been drones. We'll see. Ukrainian long-range drones regularly target Russian military and industrial facilities to undermine Moscow's ability to wage its full-scale war in Ukraine. All right, so just a little bit of information regarding these attacks. Now we're going to hop on over to X, and I've got all the video footage and lots of good information over here. So let's hop on over to X now. War translated Dmitry. Smolensk captures, moment Russian air defense missile takes out an unidentified drone. So this was over the city of Smolensk, I believe, or in the Smolensk region. We have a drone that was incoming here, and you can actually hear multiples in the background. And I believe it's a Panzer S-1 air defense system, fires an interceptor, takes down an incoming drone, and then you hear more drones in the background afterwards. Take a look at this. All right, pretty amazing video to watch this Panzer S-1 air defense system take out an incoming drone. But if you hear just soon after that explosion, you hear that first initial drone that blew up. You don't hear the propeller sound from that thing anymore. But then soon after that, you hear more of them in the background. So there was definitely a major drone attack ongoing in this area at the time. So let's hop on to another update now from Max 24. The work of the Smolensk air defense failed. Okay, so this report here allegedly was a Panzer S-1 air defense interceptor that missed its target on a drone, or maybe it got somehow this building got in the way or something like that while it was trying to target a drone. Multiple sources were indicating that this was the Panzer S-1 air defense interceptor that ended up hitting a building instead of a drone. So I thought that was pretty crazy. We can see this apartment building completely on fire inside of the Smolensk region of Russia. Okay, so hopefully everybody on the inside was okay. There might have been some innocent people that got injured from that. Also from Max 24, Smolensk Aviation Plant. Okay, so it's a new video coming out showing this place completely on fire after it got hit at least one time, maybe even more times considering how bad this fire is, but it definitely caught on fire pretty large. Take a look at this. All right, so I have to say, what a pretty impressive strike. I mean, when we covered the aviation plant, the Gorbanov aviation plant up near the Boris Oglebsk airfield in the Kazan, or the city of Kazan in the Republic of Tatarstan, we had that attack happening like yesterday, and we didn't have any video footage, unfortunately, coming out from that area showing that facility on fire. But it does look like we did have a direct strike on this one this time. So pretty insane video to show you there. Now also for more translated Dmitry, Smolensk, Russia, witness captures a moment drone crashes into a building or facility. Okay, so we're not really going to be able to see what exactly got hit here, but right over these people's heads, you're going to see an incoming drone really quickly and then crashing into some building right over here in a massive explosion. Take a look at this.
Поехали отсюда нахуй. Поехали нахуй отсюда.
Блять!
Okay, pretty insane video also, right, guys? So looks like it's near like some little shops or something here. I'm not sure what these are. They kind of look like little sheds, but I think these are might be like little businesses or something. And we had some sort of building being targeted just on the other side of this, very close to where these people were standing. Kind of scary to see that, but definitely had some sort of direct strike, or maybe that drone crashed over here somewhere. Now, from NOAA reports, already 5 explosions were reported in Smolensk. So, this video, you're going to be hearing lots of explosions in the background and drones incoming. Take a look at this. All right, that sounds like something very big just blew up over there, completely shook the ground. This guy's camera set off all the car alarms in this area. So this was definitely a massive attack. I would expect probably more than 50 drones entering into Smolensk last night. Here's another one also from Max 24, says Smolensk. So take a look right over here in the back. There's like some sort of radio tower over here. And that thing takes a direct strike as well, some sort of communications tower. Okay, take a look at this.
Не, на, приблизь туда, прям к самому этому. Ты что, вот твоя камера должна ты увидеть.
Да, он без фокусирует, мне кажется.
Во, взорвали.
Ебать, подстанцию, не?
Телевышка.
Ебать, телевышка, отходить, все, нахуй. Ну, блядь, волной может накрыть, чего, блядь? Не, на, приблизь.
All right, so it looks like Ukraine was trying to go after whatever they could here, even targeting some sort of communication tower. We have been reporting a lot recently, like Ukrainian saboteurs or maybe some partisans inside of Russia that are starting to light fires on telecommunications equipment. So, it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to target something like this, but this is actually the first time on video that I've ever seen drones targeting this type of infrastructure. They're usually going after either these aviation plants or factories or oil depots, things like that. But looks like they're even going after their telecommunications towers as well. All right, now moving on to another update from NOAA reports. The Smolensk aviation plant is reportedly attacked and hit by Ukrainian drones. So here's that same photo that we were looking at earlier. Just wanted to get it for you on the big screen, show you a large photo of this thing on fire. Okay, this is the Smolensk aviation plant that was attacked last night. All right, now from Max 24 aircraft factory in Smolensk. Here's a new photo also showing this thing on fire. It's not the largest photo, and I apologize for that, but we can see a pretty massive flame coming from this facility over here. So this fire definitely grew and got much larger, just like the video footage that we saw earlier. So lots of video evidence coming out today regarding this Smolensk aviation plant that was attacked. Now from Victoria, it says Ukraine attacked 2 Russian aircraft plants in the past 24 hours, hitting oil refineries. Was good, but this is better. And I have to agree. I think the aviation plants are just as important as the oil depots. The oil depots are important because it cuts off Russian gas, makes it more difficult for them to fight the war if they can't produce oil and ship oil around the world, and they're losing money. Their economy will collapse or begin to collapse. But these aviation plants are just as important, okay, because this is where all the missiles come from. Russia used a lot of their strategic bombers to launch missiles into Ukraine. And if this attacks these aviation plants, if they're producing missiles here, also their aircraft, it makes it difficult for them to work on their aircraft, disrupts their logistics and their operations. So definitely some very big hits on these 2 aviation plants. Okay, so we still don't know for sure if the one in Kazan got hit, but this was a photo I showed you guys yesterday showing this area completely on fire. So we did have some direct hits in Kazan yesterday as well. Okay, now from Max 24, strike on Russian command posts in Volnovaka. That one's kind of hard to say. So this was a video coming out from that area showing some sort of explosions right here. This is supposedly where this command post was located. It looks like a taller building. I'm not sure if it's the side of this building. It's really hard to tell because it's dark right there. But there's kind of a long building right here, and it looks like the right side of it may have taken a hit. So I'm not sure what type of munitions was used here. It looks like it could have been some sort of missiles, but don't know exactly what type. You guys can let me know what you think down below if you want to speculate on that. But it does look like it could have been missiles being used here. But they don't look incredibly powerful. All right, so now also from NOAA reports, Ukrainian drones are also spotted in the Rostov region heading for Russian targets. Okay, so we got a couple of videos coming out here too from different areas of Russia of people, some of the residents in these areas recording some of these drones incoming. So go ahead and take a look at this as well. Okay, just a quick 7-second clip of somebody recording drones coming in. Unfortunately, can't really see a whole lot. It's very dark down here, but they were able to capture the sound of some drones incoming to the Rostov region. So we know for sure Rostov was attacked again last night. It gets attacked almost every single day. There's lots of Russian equipment down there for the military. Lots of military targets. So I don't know exactly what was being attacked over here in Rostov. If I get some information on that, I'll let you guys know at a later time, okay? Now from Max 24 again, more from Krasnodar. The Russians don't like something. Okay, we've got another video here of more drones entering into the Krasnodar region as well. This is right next door to the Rostov region. So it looks like lots of these drones were heading down to southwestern Russia last night. Take a look at this.
Беспилотник. Суки ебаные. Это, блядь, полетело.
All right, this is a bit of a longer video, so I'll just go ahead and stop it right there. But it's basically just drones again, flying through the skies over here in the Krasnodar region of Russia also. So again, same thing. If I get some information on this, I'll let you guys know. But as far as I know, drones were just heading this direction. We don't have any confirmed strikes on anything. So maybe these drones didn't hit their target. We don't really know yet, okay? Also from Max 24, again, more bavavna, which is like explosion, but it actually means cotton, in Saratov region, okay? So we've got some sort of direct strike in the Saratov region, which is far deeper into Russia. This is over closer to Angles, where the Angles military airfield is at. Also, the Commandant Kristall oil depot that was burning recently also got double tapped by Ukrainian drone strikes recently. We talked a lot about that. So something got hit over here too. I'm not quite sure what it was, but take a look at this. All right, pretty frightening video right here. I can't really tell what exactly got hit, but it does sort of look like this drone landed potentially on some sort of building here. I think it's like an apartment building or something. You can kind of see it towards the end. Let me see if I can stop it right here. Just before the explosion, we can see an apartment building right here is what it looks like. And then there's an explosion. I can't tell if it's on the other side of it or maybe here in the street. Maybe there's a street here on the bottom next to this tree. And it ends up crashing right here. So we had some sort of direct strike over here. I'm not sure if it was a drone shot down or something, but we did have some sort of explosion reported inside of the Saratov region from one of these drones. Okay, now from Max 24 again, Liski, moment of UAV strike. Okay, so this video is going to show you the direct impact of Ukrainian drones striking the Liski oil depot for the second time in the last week. Take a look at this.
Пидорасы, вот он, вот он. Вон он, сука, мимо, мимо, слава богу, мимо. 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 Ебать. Там машины.
All right, guys, as we can see here, and what we've seen repeatedly in the past over the last few weeks, is Russia does not have enough air defenses, okay? We can clearly see that. Ukraine is really overwhelming Russia with drones right now, and maybe they are taking some of these down, but for the most part, I don't think they have enough air defense to completely take all these down because these things just come in so freely and just striking targets all over Russia. So this Liski oil depot getting hit once again, okay, 2 times over the last 6 or 7 days. And as far as I know, it was still burning for like 4 or 5 days. Now it got hit again. So looks like they're going to have more troubles over there. Big headache trying to put that fire out. Also from Anton Gerashenko, Russian Telegram channels reports a new drone attack on the oil depot in Liski, Voronezh region of Russia. A new fire broke out. Here's a couple other things here too. There's a photo showing smoke coming from that facility over there in the Voronezh region. This is in Liski. We've also got a video here too, not really much sound on this, just a quick 2-second clip. We can see the light over here shining on the skies from that thing still on fire, okay? So pretty insane. This Liski oil depot is probably going to burn out completely. I'm sure a large majority of the tanks have already been destroyed considering how long this fire has been going on for, okay? Now we got hit again. Now take a look at this. I got a cool video for you guys from Igor Sushko. Russia looks like 3 Ukrainian Himars launching 14 GMLRS missiles reportedly from inside Kursk region under Ukrainian control. 2 Himars appear to launch 6 missiles, each near synchronously, followed by 2 more missiles from a third launcher. Okay, so we got a new video of Ukrainian Himars being fired. Reportedly, this is inside of the Kursk region. I didn't know that Ukraine has Himars inside of Kursk, but then again, they are controlling some territory in there. I would think they would use it a little bit further back, maybe inside of their own territory, because these things can definitely reach beyond the front line inside of the Kursk region, even if they were to fire from Ukrainian territory. But reportedly, this could be inside of the Kursk region as well. Take a look at this.
Для остановки здесь было здесь. А я не видел, когда... Да, вон...
Да, Хаймарс. Красиво. Поїхав, і фара, блядь, ішов. З включеними фарами. Там же всіх охороняють, блядь. А чого так тихо, блядь?
Что-то очень дохуя.
І так тихо, блядь. Поїхав, блядь.
Для остановки здесь было здесь.
All right, so I thought this was kind of a cool video to show you guys these Himars in action over here launching all these missiles. Reportedly about 14 missiles were fired here. I'm not sure exactly what the target was. Most likely going after Russian military columns or something like that. Maybe they were starting to, the Russians were moving up a lot of equipment in the Kursk region, probably launched a massive attack is most likely what I'm thinking happened here. But we have not heard any information on what was being targeted here or if there was actually some direct strikes with these Himars missiles, but we did have a major attack there. Now for more translated Dmitry, another Russian trudges along the road of death complaining about destroyed equipment. Okay, so I want to show you guys this too. There's a Russian soldier just walking along over here on what is considered as the road of death, and there's just nothing but destroyed equipment over here. And apparently this Russian soldier, that whatever unit he was a part of, a lot of their vehicles have been destroyed, so they're pretty much just out here walking on foot. So take a look at this. It has subtitles down below.
Где он, блядь? Разъебанная техника. Дорога смерти называется. Так что, блядь, главное направление у нас жопа полнейшая, блядь. Вон танчик разобратый, нахуй. Ебашит. И ходим, блядь. Каждый день, сука. Сегодня только вышли. И обратно, нахуй. Сейчас обратно возвращаемся. Уже. Ради птички сегодня катнут хотя бы не так. То прям пиздец его, блядь. Вчера вообще не давали выйти. Сегодня кассеткой хуярят. Вот он наш танчик, нахуй. Разъебанный, нахуй весь. Башня с него, нахуй. Пиздец, короче.
All right, so pretty crazy video here. He's just walking along what they consider this the road of death. Now, I wonder if this is up in the Kursk region, because we've heard about that too. I think it's like the Elgov Highway over there. The Kursk Highway is kind of known as the road of death as well. There's lots of destroyed Russian military equipment on that road, apparently, or at least in that area. So I'm not sure exactly where this was recorded at, but does look like we have a lot of destroyed Russian equipment here. And the fact that he's complaining about birds, if you notice at one point he starts talking about that, that's the FPV drones. And I wouldn't be surprised that's what caused a lot of the destruction to these vehicles here also, and wiping out all their equipment is mostly the birds here, as it says there, okay? He says the effing bird is flying. So I've actually got a new video showing an FPV drone being used here, right here from Jay in Kyiv. It says, in Russia's Kursk region, a platoon of Russian soldiers took a neighbor's house house, excuse me, as a base. So Ukraine blew it up. Okay, so take a look at this, guys. This is how destructive these FPV drones are. Just a simple little drone can completely destroy the house. Okay, so most likely this is probably what was destroying all these vehicles too. And these things are absolutely incredible how much damage they cause and how effective they are, and just the fact that you don't have to use a Ukrainian life. You know, you can simply just use a piece of equipment that probably costs a few $1,000s or something like that, maybe even less. That's pretty amazing technology. Okay, so just wanted to show you a new video of the FPV drones being used. Now from Bliskovka, at the talks, Putin will demand that Ukraine reduce its army by 5 times. We will not allow it, says Zelensky. When it comes to Europe's security, we cannot rely on the goodwill of a few capitals or that Putin will die someday. Europe needs its own version of the Iron Dome. Europe needs to step up and ensure true energy independence. And you cannot buy gas from Moscow while expecting security guarantees, help and support from the Americans. This is simply wrong. So these were some of the statements coming out today. We had Volodymyr Zelensky. I'm not going to play the video here because it's not in English, but he was speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland today. He just arrived for that meeting. I think it's going to be held for a few days. These were some of the things he was coming out and stating. So actually I have a few posts that we're going to go over here that have some information of some of the things he was discussing while he was here at this conference. So here's a few things that he mentioned there. Thought a big one here is that apparently Putin is going to demand that Ukraine reduce its army by 5 times. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Imagine attacking a country and then telling them, okay, we'll stop attacking you, but you need to reduce your army. Like that would scare me. You know, if I'm being attacked, I would not want to reduce my army because that would most likely make the bully want to attack me again, right? It's just kind of simple common sense there. I thought it was pretty insane that he's saying that. Now, did Putin actually demand that? I don't believe he did. I haven't seen that yet, but looks like that's what Zelensky is worried or something that he believes that Putin will demand in regards to these peace talks that are coming pretty soon. So also from Max 24, Putin will demand during the negotiations that Ukraine reduce its army by 5 times. We will not allow this to be done. We know about this information, but it also says here, I have a very good relationship with Trump. He will do everything to end the war this year. 608,000 soldiers, the size of Russian military group, currently present on the territory of Ukraine. This is 3 times more than what we had at the beginning of 2022. That's insane, guys. 608,000 soldiers of the Russian military is on Ukrainian soil. That's absolutely crazy to think about. And he's saying 3 times more. So that would have been, what, about 200,000 soldiers of Russia's military at the beginning of 2022. That's now tripled, okay? So why would Ukraine want to reduce its military size when it's got a 600,000 strong army right on its doorstep in its own territory? I think that's pretty insane to want to do that. Now from Bliskovka, Washington does not believe that Europe can bring them anything really meaningful. Zelensky at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Europe should have a seat at the table when peace agreements are made. Europe is lagging behind in the development of artificial intelligence. TikTok's algorithms are already stronger than some governments. That's kind of scary to think about, that a social media platform is stronger than a government. The United States, together with Europe, must destroy the Iranian threat. Okay, so that's interesting too, that he's coming out talking about Iran, and I'm sure we're going to see some major developments coming out in regards to Iran pretty soon. I'm not sure if the U.S. is going to take action against them, maybe even militarily. We might have Israel taking action against Iran, but I have a feeling that's all going to come after something is figured out here in terms of Gaza, because we even heard recently from Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, that this war may continue very soon inside of Gaza, that this is more of a temporary ceasefire, so it might not be over anytime soon, but I think at some point we could see the U.S. and potentially even Israel going after Iran soon, so he's got a point there. Now from the Ukrainian Review, Putin will definitely return with an army 10 times larger than now for the complete occupation of all countries of the former USSR, says Zelensky. If there are weak security guarantees, then Europe will only get words from Russia and they will return again with war. So this is something that Zelensky's been warning about for a long time. You know, he always comes out and says, we got to put maximum pressure on Putin. We need to make Putin feel like he's losing. We got to put their military in a position where they're weak, where they can't feel like they could just attack anybody ever again. Even sometimes he doesn't want to give Vladimir Putin a break. They don't want a ceasefire or anything like that. If it's a temporary one, if they do, it needs to be an actual real security guarantee, like them getting into NATO, so they can make sure they're never attacked ever again. But he believes that in the future that Vladimir Putin may launch another attack, and this could be even on NATO later down the road. We've heard about that even when we get to close to 2028, 2029, that Putin could launch another attack onto NATO later down the road. So now from Igor Sushko, President Trump has now confirmed that Putin has no interest in negotiating a ceasefire in Russia's invasion of Ukraine, just as we wrote in the below quoted article in November 2024. Okay, so I want to show you guys this. This was from Donald Trump yesterday at the White House while he was signing executive orders, and he was apparently asked, if he's going to be speaking to Putin pretty soon, and does he think he's going to be able to end this war? So I wanted to show you guys this about 2 minutes long, and he's basically saying that he doesn't believe that Putin is ready for negotiations right now or any kind of a ceasefire. So I don't know if he's maybe giving Putin some time to figure this out or think about it, but he talks about Russia's economy and several things in here. So take a look at this.
President, when do you plan
really
to
the
speak
opposite.
When do you plan to speak to President Putin?
Could be very soon.
And you talked a bit about Ukraine and Russia, but how long do you think it would take to end that conflict? And
I have to speak to President Putin. We're going to have to find out. He can't be thrilled. He's not doing so well. I mean, he's grinding it out, but most people thought that war would have been over in about 1 week. And now you're into 3 years, right? So he can't be thrilled. It's not making him look very good. Now, eventually, it's a big machine, so things will happen, but I think he'd be very well off to end that war. We have numbers that almost 1 million Russian soldiers have been killed. About 700,000 Ukrainian soldiers are killed. Russia's bigger, they have more soldiers to lose. But that's no way to run a country.
You said you plan to speak with President Putin soon. What about President Zelensky, and what's your message?
Yeah, I would, but he's told me he wants to make a deal. Zelensky wants to make a deal.
What kind of
I don't know if Putin does. He might not. I don't know. He should make a deal. I think he's destroying Russia by not making a deal. I think Russia's going to be in big trouble. You take a look at their economy. You take a look at the inflation in Russia. So I would hope. I got along with him great, and I would hope he wants to make a deal.
Mr. President, are you keeping U.S. sanctions on Russia until he makes a deal?
Well, sanctions or tariffs. I think the word tariff is much better because it keeps your dollar stronger. I think tariffs are more effective. I mean, I use sanctions on Iran. Iran was broke. When I left office, Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, none. They were flat broke.
Okay, so he mentions a couple things here. He says that Zelensky wants to make a deal. And we kind of have been seeing that from Vladimir Zelensky, but in terms of Russia, it looks like maybe they don't want to, is kind of what Trump is saying here. So, I mean, let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with him? Do you think that Putin wants to make a deal? It kind of looks like to me that maybe he doesn't in a lot of ways. And, maybe some of this could be due to their economy. Their economy has been shaped in the direction of, moving towards military conflict. They're on a wartime footing and economy right now. But at the same time, their economy is in shambles. So, he kind of has a point here, Trump, whenever he says that, it's not really a way to run a country. So pretty crazy. Just wanted to show you that information coming out from him to let you know that, we are expecting some sort of phone call between Trump and Putin here pretty soon. And he's kind of stating that he doesn't think that Putin's ready to make a deal. But let me know what you think down below. Now moving on to War Translated Dmitry. Lieutenant General Viktor Sobolev, a member of the Russian State Duma Defense Committee, has repeatedly commented on Donald Trump and his policies, and it seems that this old man is not very happy with the new U.S. president. So we've got this Lieutenant General of the Russian State Duma Defense Committee, okay? And I want to show you this clip of him. He doesn't seem to be too happy with Donald Trump being in office, but it makes me wonder if maybe Russia was happy under President Biden, that maybe they thought President Biden was weak. They were able to take advantage of the situation, and now they can because Trump is going to be much harder on foreign policy when it comes to Russia. So take a look at this.
А что вы ждете?
Я от Трампа ничего хорошего не жду. Это будет более жесткая политика в отношении России. Он сейчас Канаду и Гренландию приберет.
Бомбить.
Спрашивать они меня, что
Okay, so you can see here he doesn't seem to be happy with Trump and now getting into office. That Trump's going to be more hard on them. Their policies towards Russia is going to be much harsher. As you can see here, he says tougher policy against Russia. So maybe it's going to be more difficult for them to fight this war, and you know they're going to be even more in a tight spot. So maybe they are going to be forced to end this war here very soon. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, a couple more things to share with you guys before we get you out of here. This is from Katerina Horbanova, and it says. The house I showed you in my last post is still burning. The Russian occupiers are destroying Pokrovsk, burning down house after house. This is a real picture of life in Ukraine here and now. The author of the video is Dennis Christoph, the Dutchman. Okay, so this is a new video coming out from Pokrovsk, and we've actually been seeing a few of these popping up over the last 24 hours. So Pokrovsk is a Ukrainian city inside of the Donetsk region, and right now the Ukrainian military is desperately trying to hold on to this town. They don't want to lose it, and the Russians are closing in. They're starting to encircle this town now, and it's been heavily bombed, apparently. There's been so much video like what you're seeing here of just houses being destroyed all over the place here. The Russians are getting very close, so now they can hit it with artillery as well. So just being bombed into oblivion right now is what's being reported in Pokrovsk, and it appears to be very difficult situation over here for the Ukrainian military. All right, finally, one last thing to share with you guys from the Kyiv Independent. These are the indicative estimates of Russia's combat losses as of January 21st, according to the Armed Forces of Ukraine. All right, guys, final update of the day. Russia's losses as of January 21st, according to Ukrainian intelligence, 1,600 troops, 23 AFVs, 194 vehicles and fuel tanks, much higher than what we saw recently. We've been seeing like right around 100 to 120, close to 200 vehicles and fuel tanks destroyed last night or in the last 24 hours. Also 12 tanks, 60 artillery systems, 130 UAVs, 4 special equipment, and 1 anti-aircraft warfare system. Okay, so more losses being reported on the Russian side. We're well over 820,000 casualties on the Russian side being reported from Ukraine now. So the losses continue to mount for the Russian army, and I'm sure Ukraine as well, but we do have that information for the Russian losses today. So lots of good information coming out from this report today. I hope you guys got something out of all of this, and if you did, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.